My question to you is, what is the name of this dog? And I'm going to tell you, I think the name that's on the glass is wrong. Entirely possible my memory is wrong. But me? Have something wrong in my memory? I don't know.
Well, if you got a dollar, well, just lousy down. You know that I got rhythm that could suit your budget fine.
Hi, this is Patrick with Trusty Huckster Mercantile. Welcome to my channel. As the year continues to progress and we're approaching fall, we are also approaching what I guess is going to become the annual Just One More Dachshund Rescue fundraiser held here on my channel, Trusty Huckster Mercantile. It started last year in 2020. In November, I did a fundraiser selling vintage items here on my channel live in November, and we've decided, myself as well as Dawn, the owner of the Dachshund Rescue, decided that this is the good time to go ahead and do that again in 2021. So as people are learning about the fundraiser, people that participated in the fundraiser last year, they've been asking a lot, well, how do we help? How do we participate? You know, what are you doing to get things set up? And as a result, I'm starting to receive a lot of the items that I will end up selling in the live sale. Now, it's going to run a little bit differently this year. Last year was the first year. We raised $3,500 for Just One More Dachshund. That's JOMDR.org. And a lot of that money was through participation of many other resellers who offered mystery boxes to one lucky winner. So last year, Kim from Oh My Vintage, if you do not follow her channel, she was posting pretty much throughout the year, she was posting live unboxings of all of the mystery boxes that she received as the grand prize winner of the boxes. She received 35 of them. This year, it's going to work a little bit differently. Long story, if you don't know the history, we never intended it to be that popular. We didn't anticipate one person receiving 35 boxes, but we'd already announced one winner would get all of the boxes, thinking we'd get like 10. And so when it just kept climbing and people kept wanting to participate, well, one person got a lot of boxes. This year, we're going to break that up, have more winners, and what it's looking like right now is the mystery boxes. We will get donors of mystery boxes, both resellers and also just dog lovers that are participating. We will combine 5 of them at a time, and we will be picking winners for the 5 mystery boxes. So you still get a cool set of boxes. You never know what you're going to get because even I won't know what's being shipped in the mystery boxes. But that's, you know, one cool thing we will definitely do as part of the fundraiser. One area that will be different from this year is we will still have a live sale that'll be on my channel. The date will be November 11th. That is Thursday, November 11th on my channel, Trusty Huckster Mercantile, the channel you're watching right now. It'll start at 8 p.m. Eastern. We will still have live sales of vintage and non-vintage dog-related items, but we are also going to utilize my eBay channel, which we did not do last year. So some of the items that I'm getting donated for the fundraiser are actually fairly valuable items and or rare items that don't come up that often. And I want to make sure the most and the best dollar is received for those, because all of the money that we collect through all of these sales, after fees and shipping, of course, is going to be donated to the Just One More Dachshund Rescue. So there will also be items dropping onto my eBay channel. So watch up until November. There'll be a lot of promotions, there'll be a lot of announcements, and we might even start listing things even before November 11th. You never know, because at this point, if I continue the trend that is happening right now, there's gonna be a lot of stuff, and I'm not gonna be able to sell it all in a 2-hour live sale. So what I wanted to show you tonight is a handful of the items that have been received either from myself. These are items that I pick up, you know, here and there as I'm adding items to my own collection for resale, as well as some donations that came in from one of my viewers who picked up several Dachshund specifically items that I think are going to be really popular for the sale. So one of the areas that I'm just finding as I'm doing a lot of sourcing for my eBay, Etsy, as well as my YouTube sales is ephemera. And so one of the things that I found were some books. Also, some of these were part of the donation from Brian Hance. Brian Hance, Chicagoland, donated some of these items. In some cases, they're modern books, but they're dog-themed books. So we've got The Night Before Dogmas and then a Boynton, Sandra Boynton doggie book. It's a board book. We've got this Scholastic, the best friend, the dog best friend book. These are relatively modern books, not particularly high value, but also in these cases, these are all ones that I picked up. I didn't pay a lot for them either. So it's one of those items that these might get thrown into maybe a mystery box that I create. I'm thinking about doing an actual dog themed mystery box, or I might just combine some of these with some of the other books that I received kind of as a cool ephemera lot, because as media, they can be shipped media mail. So a lot of books doesn't necessarily cost all that much to ship. So I got these modern books. But some of the things that, one of the items that Brian donated for the Doxies is the Book of Dogs, Photographs and Descriptions of 100 Leading Breeds. And you can tell right at a glance, this book has some age to it. And we did find the copyright on this. It was copyrighted 1934 by the Rand McNally Company. And it was the Book of Dogs describes and gives pictures of every breed of dog that is well known in the United States and Canada. All of these breeds are recognized in the American Kennel Club. Now, this is from 1934, so I have a feeling I couldn't name them, but I do believe that there have been breeds that have been recognized by the AKC much more recently. So there might be some specialty breeds that are missing, but you do have, as promised, you do have the photographs and illustrations of, here's the sporting hound group, and the terriers, and we've got a little Scotty right on the front, always popular. So this is going to be one of those cases. I personally love antique ephemera. Not technically antique, but you're definitely getting some age, and it's just showing illustrations, and in some cases you might even be seeing some standards that are being highlighted here that have maybe changed over the years. I know that some dogs have gotten a little bit taller, a little bit shorter as they continue to be bred, and their standards have been refined a little bit. But this is a very cool snapshot in time from 1934 that I think will be a really popular item to offer in the fundraiser. Another really nice vintage piece of ephemera. This is one that I had picked up. I picked this up just recently. It is, the text is by Felix Sutton. The pictures are by Percy Leeson. It is The Big Book of Dogs. And this also has some nice age to it. I can't remember, did I find the... You can tell by the graphics, we're looking probably 40s or 50s. I thought there was a copyright. It was 1952. So right on the front, we've got a copyright of 1952 by Grossedin Dunlap. And this one is some color illustrations. So right in the front, you've got this great set of color illustrations of St. Bernard. And then you move straight into the sporting dog group with, again, some great color illustrations of the group. Highlights of specific, these are the setters. So this is going to be a great piece if you happen to have one of these breeds. The hound group, you're going to have some great artwork highlighting, maybe a breed that you personally have, or, I'm never a big fan of taking something that's in decent condition and tearing it apart, but these would be some great illustrations and things that would look great framed for any dog lover, particularly when you get into the middle, the centerfold, as it were, of the Great Dane. I think that's a Great Dane. Showing all of the specific pieces, of its anatomy that is then referenced in the book as they talk about the different standards for the breed. So I thought this was a great piece to pick up. This one, there's a little bit of a condition issue. It has a string binding, which I'm not particularly familiar with, but you can see that in the centerfold. And the stitching at the bottom is coming out on it. It's still really tight. All the pages are still in place because the top of the stitching is still there. So it's not like the book is falling apart, but there's definitely a little bit of a condition issue that we will just need to be sensitive to as I make that available. We've got a little book, five true dog stories. Also looks like there might be some decent, this is a Scholastic book from 1977. Benji and the Barking Dog, hardcover book. This one is a weekly reader children's book club book from let's see. This one is from 1971. One of my personal favorites. McGruff, the crime dog, goes to court. So much more modern. It's a coloring book. These were, I think, given away by like Officer Friendly and things like that in the school system. Don't even see this one even. Let's see. Well, Governor Thompson was the governor of Illinois at the time that this was issued. 1989. So, much more modern, but still a fun item. It's got a little bit of a condition issue here in the corner. It looks like it might have gotten wet at some point, but none of the pictures themselves have been colored in. So, this would just be a fun item, nice vintage item that if somebody actually wants to color it or give to their kids or grandkids to color. And then another vintage book. This was another donation from the collection that Brian sent in. And this has a doxie right in the front. Wagging Tails, an album of dogs by Marguerite Henry. This one also has some age to it. Oh, it's also signed by the author. I did not notice that. So that's kind of a nice little bonus. We got an author, best wishes from Marguerite Henry. And it is copyrighted 1955. So nice little piece of history there, and signed by the author, which makes it pretty cool. So all of these, again, some of them might get combined because I actually already have stacks of dog books that have been donated and brought in or that I've picked up. So in some cases, some might be put together. Maybe it was based on breed, it might be based on the era of the books, because I want to simplify the ability of selling these items so that, but I don't want to make the lot so expensive that people feel, I don't want all of those books. So it'll be a mix. And also it's worth noting, if you see anything in any of the videos that I'll be posting over the next couple of months, highlighting what's available for the fundraiser, if you're interested in it for yourself, maybe we can work out a price. I'm more than happy to selling it to you in advance. I will put that money aside for the fundraiser because it's one less item I have to sell all at one time. And as long as, we're giving it a good price that is based on what the comps of what else is available, as long as I can know what I think is worth, more than happy to work something out, and we'll definitely appreciate your participation and make sure that you get that recognition, and if necessary, if you're paying a lot, even a text, a write-off letter from JOMDR.org, which is a 501c3 organization. Another area that is starting to build as a collection that I will, again, try and figure out the best way to offer these for sale throughout the fundraiser, series, is figurines. And dog lovers love their dogs, but a lot of times dog lovers are very breed specific. So in some cases, I'm having problems identifying some of the breeds, but where I can identify them, I'm going to try and combine them in, again, maybe some small lots of multiple pieces of the same dog breed, thinking that if somebody has that breed, they might be interested in picking up multiple examples of some of the figurines. Now, we definitely have doxie items, a nice little dachshund figurine that barely fits in the screen. In absolutely pristine conditions, got a great color to him. I'm not sure how super old this one is. There's no markings or anything on him, but he's super cute. And what I recognize is that it's a fundraiser for JOMDR.org, which is going to attract dog lovers and doxie lovers, not necessarily just vintage lovers. So I have no problem with some of the items that are being donated that may not have as much age to them, because some people are going to buy them because it's a cute dachshund. So, we've got the doxie donated there. We've got another doxie figurine, that large one, as well as this little one, which just has a really great pale coloring to him. Yeah, it's a him. These both came in from Brian Hand. So again, thank you, Brian, for the donation that you were making toward JOMDR. There are some others that I think that's a Cocker Spaniel. I think this is just one of those DIY pieces. It looks like a ceramic piece with some initials etched onto the bottom of it. Doesn't make him any less cute, but I believe that is a Cocker Spaniel. Fairly confident on that one. This one I think is a bulldog. It's one of those made in Japan pieces, a little porcelain ashtray that says no parking in front of the fire hydrant with a dog doing his business there. Pretty sure though that the dog is a bulldog, which is going to be popular. Now this one, I'm going to say he's a hound, But this is probably going to fall into just really more of a caricature of a dog. He kind of reminds me of the dog from the Marvin the Martian. Did Marvin the Martian have a dog kind of like this? This again might be a DIY piece. It is completely glazed on the bottom, but there's no initials or anything. He's actually very nicely done, and the glaze has kind of a different, it's more of a matte finish than what a lot of DIY pieces would have. So this one I'm not 100% sure on, nor am I sure on the age. This one is probably like an 80s, 90s piece, I would assume. I do think this one's a little bit older, but I don't know what he is, but I do think he's probably a hound dog. He's got some jowls on there, got those long ears, maybe a bloodhound, maybe, I don't think he's a basset hound, he's got a little stubby tail, but he's a cutie. And then this one, I'm not really sure. He happens to be plastic, but it's like you can sometimes tell older plastic. It's not signed, there's no label, there's no maker on this one. You can see it's molded, there's a seam, running through him. He seems like he should be a bank, but he's not. There's no hole or anything. But that's kind of the material that he is, kind of a vintage, plastic bank. I don't know what he is. Spaniel, maybe. So some of these I usually will ask for assistance, and this is a case where I am asking. If you know what this is, please let me know, or if you have opinion, or if you know for sure, because I do want to be able to find others. Like sometimes I was like, okay, I don't know what it is, but I found another one that looks kind of like him. If I don't know, but I do want to be able to merge them together, because I think I want to get the most money I can for them, and I think knowing the dog breeds is going to help. So if you happen to know what this little puppy is, I would definitely appreciate it, because he is a cutie, and he'll also be part of the sale. All right, time for a pop quiz. I'm gonna hold this next item in a special way so you can't see the name. This is, if it has a dog on it, it's completely fair game for the fundraiser. And although this is not specifically about this one dog, I picked him up because of the dog. Now, my question to you is, what is the name of this dog? And I'm gonna tell you, I think the name that's on the glass is wrong. Entirely possible my memory is wrong. But me? I'm something wrong in my memory? I don't know. So it is... okay, obviously also going to cover the name. I'm trying to show the rest of it. So I want to say that is Penelope Pitstop. And then you've got the villain down here at the bottom, whose name completely escapes me. And then also completely escaping me is, I want to say he's the Baron of some sort. And the bird, I have no idea. But the dog, I thought his name was Muttley, is Mumbly. I don't remember that. So I want to say that's Wacky Races, I think that's the set of characters from that. So I may have to do a little research, but if you happen to know, one, is it actually Mumbly? Now, I'm assuming the PepsiCo company, let's see, this was 1977 from Hanna-Barbera Productions, made for Pepsi. It doesn't say. I would assume that these are the types of glasses that you'd gotten from like McDonald's or Burger King, but it doesn't actually have McDonald's or Burger King on it. So I assumed it did, and it doesn't. So I'm not sure where these were made available, but I do not remember these. But I do remember kind of the snicker that he used to have, and I thought his name was Muttley, but maybe it's Mumbly. I don't know. But either this is a fun one that I'm going to sell as part of the live sale because it has a dog on it. The last item I'm going to show in this little video clip, and I'm sure there'll be more clips as we get closer to the sale. This one I actually picked up myself. I did a road trip for my day job and was able to hit a handful of antique shops along the way. And this was something that I came across that I absolutely had to pick up, although I know nothing about it. So I need to do a little bit of research. But it is I guess for lack of a better term, a board game. It appears to be a marble game called Wahoo. But if you look in the corner, I give one that's up right side up, you have the little terriers in their dog houses. So you've got 4 terriers of different colors in their dog houses, actually just 2 colors, red and blue. The whole board is just the natural brown color of kind of like the press board, cardboard that this is made out of, with just the color of red and blue printed onto it. Now we do have image of a Native American, which in some ways that could be considered troubling to some, and I'm not sure about the name of it. Wahoo. I'm not picking this up as any sort of cultural appropriation. I'm picking this up as a snapshot in time that I don't feel is actively stereotyping any sort of race, because this is called rules. Luckily, instructions are right here on the back. Rules for playing Wahoo. The patent was applied for in 1940. So this piece just has some great age, and it's in great condition. Place 4 marbles in the dog house. So you got 4 different dog houses. To start the game, a 1 or a 6 must be thrown. Entitles the player to place a marble on start. The player at left throws the dice but cannot place a marble on start until he's thrown a 1 or a 6. At the next turn, proceed around the board clockwise, moving each time number of spaces indicated on the dice and on around the space marked goal. So I guess it's kind of like a Parcheesi board. So you've got it marked start. So I'm assuming this this must be the start. Okay, we've got a red house, says start, but this is blue. So maybe that's where the red starts, and so it's supposed to progress this way. Up to goal. I'm not sure what these 2 spaces are for. Have the instructions, and I'm still confused. When a 6 is thrown, the player is entitled to another turn. Marbles may be started from doghouse anytime a 1 or 6 is thrown. Therefore, players may have all of the 4 marbles on the board at once. So I guess each player gets 4 marbles. If a player throws a number entitling him to move to a space already occupied by opponent, he then bumps the other marble, sending it off the board to the opponent's doghouse, from where it must be started over again. Players may be partners when playing 4-handed, and when one gets all 4 marbles in the goal, he may then help his partner when it is his turn to play. Winner of the game is the player or pair who gets all 4 or 8 marbles into the goal first. All right, so I'm a little confused. I shouldn't be, but start 10. It's still cool. Whether you play it or not, I'm sorry, this would look freaking awesome hanging on a wall. So I picked this baby up because it's in great shape, and I want to make sure it stays in great shape. It's not going to be the easiest thing to ship, admittedly. It's not heavy at all, it's fairly large. So I'm going to have to take that into consideration, or whoever will buy it will have to take that into consideration. But pretty cool piece. I probably will not include the marbles or the die, because that just adds to the weirdness of the shape of the box. Right now I could probably just wrap this in bubble wrap and then wrap that in a heavy, craft paper and ship it that way, so the less that goes into it, the better off we might be. It's just a cool piece. I definitely wanted to pick that up, and I definitely want to have it available because those dogs are just too cute. So that's a quick snapshot of what's coming up for the November 11th live sale on my YouTube channel. Also, possibly some of these might end up in the eBay offering through an auction on eBay. Maybe earlier, who knows? Kind of it's going to depend on how much I continue to receive in donations, because I want to have enough time to be able to sell them off. And let's be honest, I also have to ship all of this stuff. So some things might start getting sold in advance and just saying, okay, I'm going to sell this right now, and then just put that money aside just because I need to be able to sell and ship, maybe a little bit over a wider stretch. But I am not complaining. Our goal for this year is to raise $5,000 for JOMDR.org, because some of the dogs that she rescues, they are specializing in senior rescues. Some of the surgeries and medications some of these dogs require. I think the first dog they rescued after the last fundraiser, we raised $3,500. The next dog they rescued had a vet bill of $6,000. So as excited as I was to raise $3,500 with all the people that helped me do this, it wasn't even enough to pay for the next dog they brought in. So that's not always, dollar per dollar, dollar $1 per dog, but we are going to try and do some things. We'll have more items to sell. We're going to have some additional ways of helping out the fundraiser and helping out the rescue. And again, just continue to look out for videos that I'll be dropping throughout the next several weeks leading up to the fundraiser. And I hope you'll consider to participate. If you are interested in helping out the fundraiser and the organization prior to that, check out the notes in this video, and that will give you links to their PayPal account where you can make direct donations and also follow their social media to see what they're going to be announcing as part of the fundraiser and what they'll be doing other than that, all the way up through November and then through the end of the year. So thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you putting some thought and some time into watching, and I hope you'll consider participating in the fundraiser. I really appreciate you giving me your time. I appreciate you putting your trust into Trusty Huckster, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.
Well, show me a sign if you're wishing me to stay. Otherwise, I say goodbye, finish out the day. And that sunrise in the morning and you got nothing to say. Oh, that's when I'll be headed on my